I'm at a loss here, guys. Realistically, I know I'm in the clear. Legally, I'm in the clear. But I'm being vilified by my coworkers, and I'm genuinely considering quitting my job because of this mess. So I work a pretty standard day job, and at night I help my friend at her restaurant, which serves an assortment of Thai cuisine. TBH, I'm insanely picky, but I fell in love with this peanut sauce the main chef makes, and he showed me how to make it, so about once a week I take it on either noodles or stir-fry to my day job for lunch. People know this and a handful have tried it. It smells nutty, it tastes nutty. It's white girl pad thai, basically. Lately my lunches have been disappearing, or I'll open my lunchbox to find half of my food missing. I've tried addressing it, but nothing has been changing, and I was pretty sure it was one of the new hires that was doing it, but had no proof. Until now. Thursday I took my noodles, and my entire Tupperware was missing, which hasn't happened before. I'm pissed, but what can I do? A coworker shared her pizza with me and that was that, until today. My boss confronted me and accused me of poisoning my noodles because his daughter, one of the new girls, borrowed my lunch and had to be hospitalized. Turns out she's severely allergic to nuts. Ate some and boom. Anaphylaxis. She used an EpiPen, had to be hospitalized, and now her dad is trying to hold me accountable for her bills and condition, but I don't see it. Why should I pay? I don't mark my food as an allergen because I'm not allergic to it. She was just dumb enough to steal from me and eat something she can't have. But he's being hateful, and some of my older coworkers are icing me out because I warned him I'd report any harassment to HR if he tried anything funny. Brown nosers, I guess. My friend is aware and offered me a full-time job, but I just can't help but feel it's unfair. At the same time, I could have killed his daughter though. So, I ate a edit. Holy shitballs, this blew up. I did email the HR representative and let her know of the situation. She's been on vacation and gets back tomorrow, so I don't know if she's aware of what's been going on since last week. I should note that I work weekends most weeks, not quite a 8 to 5 MF job, but yeah. My coworkers mostly chilled out by the end of my shift, thankfully, after I explained to the nosiest, friendlier person that I always bring a peanut sauce dish. I guess the general assumption was that I somehow found out who has been stealing lunches and decided to poison them. To answer a common question, this was the first time my pad thai was stolen, and no, I'm not the only victim of the lunch thief. I usually take a late lunch, and I'm not the only one, so I'm guessing the lady who was stealing food decided what was left as a free-for-all. F her. My boss said it was an HR issue when I'd tried talking to him about lunches disappearing, and HR always said they'd look into it, or further into it, and nothing ever happened. We're 100% not allowed to eat at our desks, unless you have a medical reason for it, so that wasn't an option either. I'm assuming she's fine, but I don't know the severity of her allergy or how much she ate before she had her reaction. I'm not privy to her medical information, sorry guys. Suing. Sounds like a great revenge, but probably not worth the cost of a lawyer. My friend let me take tonight off to just bitch about everything, and I'm probably going to take her job offer. One commenter was right. Even if everything settles down, I don't want to deal with a potentially hostile or reactive workplace like this anymore. It's not a career with much room for upward mobility, and I didn't feel welcome in our group meeting today. And for the people calling this fake, okay? It's not, but even if it were, why are you getting mad about it? Karma doesn't give me anything, monetarily or status. I can't exactly give out a bunch of details unless I want to dox myself, and the post seems rushed because I wrote it out of frustration during my lunch. Short time plus word limit equals rushed. Sorry, it didn't meet your writing standards. Anyway, I'll keep reading comments and responding occasionally, but this is it for me unless I get something worth updating. Thanks for everyone's opinions. And the information about Caesar dressing and Worcestershire. Thanks Google. Having anchovies. That's crazy. NTA, you didn't feed it to her. She stole it. Greater than at the same time, I could have killed his daughter. No, she could have killed herself. My wife had a heavy-duty seafood allergy. She wouldn't eat anything without knowing what was in it. Like, Caesar salad dressing has anchovies in it. Other sauces are made with seafood too. It can had in places you wouldn't expect. So, she would never take someone else's food, on principle first, because it's stealing, because it could be life-threatening. I would have thought that anyone with a severe food allergy would take the same precautions, but obviously not. Well, next time she think twice before borrowing someone else's food. Caesar salad has anchovies? Really? I had no idea. NTA. Go to HR pronto. Don't threaten HR. Get this on file. See if you can switch departments or supervisors. Report both your boss and his daughter, the food thief. Don't forget everyone else engaging in workplace harassment. Absolutely 100% NTA. Greater than my boss confronted me and accused me of poisoning my noodles because his daughter, one of the new girls, borrowed my lunch. Borrowed? And how exactly is she going to return this food that she borrowed after ingesting it? It's not borrowing asterisk when she was never planning on returning it or compensating you. I'm so sorry that your boss is terrible. She asterisk stole asterisk your food. She didn't ask, she just took it upon herself to take your lunch. She is the ta. Is she only doing this to you or is she taking everyone else's lunch as well? Genuinely have no idea. And no, a small group of us have noticed our food disappearing, sometimes multiple meals, so like 3 of us, in the same day. She seems to only target certain people, and I guess she's just gotten lucky so far. NTA. His daughter could have killed herself by eating food without knowing what was in it. How were you to know? You don't borrow lunch. You steal it. Almost won the Darwin Award. Stop reading. Go to HR and report this before your boss spins it to them as you doing this intentionally. Read the rest of the comments later. NTA though. Get this documented with HR ASAP. Continue to document this yourself as well. Do this regardless of leaving or staying. NTA. NTA. Go to HR immediately and make them aware of what is going on. You did absolutely nothing wrong and your boss's behavior is 100% inappropriate. Peanut allergy sufferer here. She stole your food. That in itself is wrong, but when you have food allergies, you never, ever eat something without knowing what's in it. This is the most clear-cut NTA situation I've seen in a while. NTA. She stole from you, and that's what happened. It's not your fault that the boss's daughter didn't check for peanuts. 100% her own fault. Report the boss to HR regardless, and warn him that you'll report him again if he takes revenge on any kind on you. Don't pay a cent towards her medical bills, bill her for the food she stole. Ada. Report her as well. Please notify HR. You need this documented so that if anything happens in the future your boss can't rewrite history. NTA. She, the lunch thief, is an idiot. If she's OND enough to be in the workplace, she's way past old enough to know better than to steal, and it's insanity for someone with an allergy to a common ingredient to eat random foods without knowing what is in them. You didn't put her in the hospital, she put herself in the hospital. I suggest going to HR and getting your side of this story on the record. It's pretty iffy that the daughter was put under her father's supervision, reeks of nepotism. I also suggest getting out of this work environment. If not by leaving the company altogether, then by exploring the possibility of another team, another department, definitely another supervisor. Edit and Thai peanut sauce is amazing. Your obsession is totally understandable. It is. I was skeptical at first, but OMG, it was so good. Mine isn't as good as what my friend makes or serves, but it's still so heavenly. NTA. She is though, because not only did she steal from you, and she's also ridiculous, knowing she has that allergy and risk NG food she didn't know the full contents of. Also, the older coworkers are just sucking up. If you can, maybe take your friend's offer if you think the coworkers will continue being annoying. Edit. Corrected. Sucking up. Fixed 2 sentences into one. I'm definitely going to look into it. If I can afford it, I probably will quit. Fuck Carter and his brat. Very clear NTA. If someone's allergic to certain foods, it's on them to watch what they eat. Not a simple task when they're stealing food. Report it to HR. NTA. Maybe you could have killed, if you hit her with a car or stabbed her. But killing her by her stealing your food, nope. Another thing he actually said, borrowed your lunch? He'll know I don't want back the lunch after she borrowed it. I mean, who would want a Tupperware of turds, as that's what happens to borrowed lunch, you know, eventually. God, I know. That line had me so confused. Like, why would I want my food back when she's passed it? NTA, and this is already bad enough, you should be talking to HR even if there's no explicit harassment from the boss. The only way you'd be on the hook is if there are explicit workplace rules about no peanuts, or about labeling potential allergens in the common fridge. Also, honestly, someone with a severe food allergy stealing other people's lunches is straight up Darwin Award worthy. Like, who TF is dumb enough, knowing they have a life-threatening allergy, to eat other people's food when they can't possibly know if there's an allergen in it? Most people who have allergies bad enough to need an EpiPen do not put anything in their mouths unless they know exactly where it came from and exactly what went into it. Greater than or about labeling potential allergens in the common fridge. That would be kind of an awkward rule to have, since it would be admitting that 1. People should expect to have their lunches stolen, and 2. The thief is this specific person who has allergies. NTA, but I'd go ahead and report this to HR anyway. You need to get in front of this in case he pulls something and tries to blame you for it. Listen, I'm as allergic to nuts as the coworker is, and am super careful about what I eat and never eat anything without asking what it's in it. NTA, she stole your food. Report her and your boss to HR for theft and harassment. Consider getting a lawyer as well. I would also talk to your friend about the job they are offering you. NTA, people with life-threatening allergies should not be playing Russian roulette with random coworkers' food. Mate, you should lawyer up and sue them for hostile work environment. And potentially loss of job if it kicks off. You have done absolutely nothing wrong. The daughter is a thief, and you'd think a thief would at least be aware of she doesn't know what she's eating. She's could kill herself. If you know someone who's an attorney, a simple letter outlining what you could do in this situation works wonders. You've got such a clear basis for a lawsuit, they should be falling over themselves to make you happy. NTA, you shouldn't have to mark your food for potential allergies cause other people are not supposed to be taking your food. They do, and that is called stealing. Boss's daughter stealing your food, going into anaphylactic shock, and ending up in the hospital is not your responsibility. It is on her. He can say you poisoned her, but that is because he can't bear to blame his little darling for her sticky fingers. You should not be on the hook for any of her medical bills. I would consider looking for a new job cause boss man is going to make your life hell, even if you report him to HR. ETA, you did not almost kill the little darling. She almost killed herself. You had nothing to do with it. I still can't believe that the father knew about her stealing someone else's food and calls it borrowing. Like, I'm stumped that this is what the father tries to justify it as. My daughter borrowed someone's food without asking and she got anaphylactic shock, but it's not her fault. The mental gymnastics is just wow. You should report this immediately. Don't wait. NTA. www.askamanger.org/2021/05/a-coworker-stole-my-spicy-food-got-me-2.html. What's with these people? NTA. Report this to HR. Why would you change what you bring for lunch? She should not have been stealing in the first place. WTF. NTA. Report it to HR and switch jobs. The daughter needs to be fired. The boss, dad too. How do you borrow a lunch? And why would you want to if you have a deathly allergy? I wonder what the thief told her dad. Absolutely NTA. NTA. And it's not you who could have killed his daughter, it's him, for being a shit parent who taught her to steal and shielded her from just consequences. I think both HR and a labor attorney need to be brought in on this.